Alright, welcome to part 2 of how to build a Cadillac ScaleAuto Hypercar. This is the car we're currently building. I have the chassis here off to the side, and I'm going to be truing tires and showing how to do that. So the tires we're going to be truing, or the rims we're going to be using, are the 5018 NSR rims, the lowered hub version. And for tires, here they are. They're just a darker gray WRE tire, but I like these tires a lot, so I'm gonna be using them on this build, and I used them on my other Cadillac that I built for me. And with those, we're gonna be using the foam inserts, MR slot car, the SR1551, I think is the part number for them, but we're gonna be using these for what you should always do when you get a set of NSR spec tires. You should always, or not spec tires, just 5018s and or any NSR rim in general, you should rim it out. This one, put oil on it, it's already on here, but you just should always ream these out. So just spin. That one was pretty easy, and then just go through. There we go. All right, we ream them out. It's just that NSR makes them just a little bit small for axles for some reason. So what we're gonna use to glue the foam inserts on is some B7000, and you don't want to use a like CA type of glue because it just hardens the foam insert up and it doesn't let it just be foam and move a lot. So what I usually do, I get the foam insert on like that, just on the edge, and then I get some this coming out. There we go. And then I just put it on, like, if it'll focus, on each of the spots in between the holes. So you just put a dot in all those spots. All right, put a dot, and now all we're gonna do is just peel it up and over. Then just push it down. You want it to be securely on there by just rotating it and pressing down, and making it have an even contact patch. All right, there we go, we're on. I'll press it down a little bit more, but there, our insert's on. So I'm gonna give this a couple minutes to dry. And all right, so now that we have these glued and we've left them for a little bit, we're going to take our truer. This is a backtrack truer with a 80 grit drum. So just thought to let you know, what I always do before I true anything is I just clean the drum, make sure there's nothing. So just all we're doing is just making sure they're flat and cutting them down so that our tire isn't just ballooning. All right. Now I think that's probably enough off. Currently 17.5, I think. So yeah, 17 17.5 is what we're at right now. The insert's cut down. We're gonna take the spec tires. I usually grab some alcohol and just put it right here. In case there's any mold release on there, then just spin it around, just clean the inside out, and then I look for the little part that it came off the mold. It'll focus. You can kind of see it right there. Right there. You can kind of right. What I usually line up with where this hole is. So, and for these, now you look for the little defect, which is right there. You can see that one pretty good. Then, no, where is it? Right there. So then you put it on that hole, and then you roll it around, and then see, like that, it's trying to pull the insert over. You just massage it on there, and there you go. Now you got your tire fitted. Tire glue on, and then your glue. I have just CA glue off to the side here. And when I use these little rubber bands, and I just go around and just put them on. This just keeps it so then the tire is more evenly connected to the rim. So we'll do one on both sides here. Okay, let me looks a little watery. Let's just get some on. You can pinch if you can pinch or just peel back one of the sides, but just whatever you feel like doing. You just get the glue on it, put it in, and just spin it or just rotate it around. I usually do these in 2 sections or 3 sections, so either half and half or a third and then another third. I think for this one I can get it in 2. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We have the top glued. What you can do is, you can wipe it off with some like lighter fluid or something, and just get some on a rag and do that. Make them look nicer. Because if there's anything left up top, you're just gonna get it off when you round it. So it's not a big concern. So now we're gonna do the back side of the tire. So get some on your toothpick. That's actually a lot. All right, get some on your toothpick, peel it back and get it in there and just rotate it. This one I gotta do in thirds. Okay, and now for the last part. All right. And all right, now that our tires are glued on, we're gonna drill. So I've got this truer. This is the backtrack truer, 80 grit drums. I've got this going to about 18.5 millimeters. That's what you want with the stock pod. I don't think I've mentioned that, but yeah, I'm running the stock pod. I did not go to the zero offset pod to make it so you could run the NSR. The one experience I had when trying to put it on my car was that it just limited my movement somehow. So I just took it off, and now I'm working with the stock pods. So what we're gonna do, we have our tires on, we have our stop set. I'm actually truing to the D letter, but I like to go one letter before, or just like a little bit of a crank before, because that lets me know I'm getting close to my desired height, and I am, that's when I should start to do my rounding, because when I do my rounding, I use lighter fluid, and if that gets on the actual tire, I want to cut it again so then it's off. So we're gonna start. I have this on a higher setting on my truer. So all we're gonna do is this first part, since the tires aren't flat, we're just gonna just barely touch it and just let them get flat and even. And these drums, if anyone wanted to get them for the back truck, you get them from McMaster Car, and the part number is 04-0957-00. So that's the part number. They're 1 by 1.5 drums, and for the back track it's this size. For the Huddy and the Parma and TWP, I think those are all 1 inch. All right, so now that we've got them pretty flat, all we're gonna do is just move this just a little bit and just let it touch. At this point, if you want to, you can just put some alcohol on here. You don't have to. With this method I'm doing, or this way of cutting, you don't really have to. You can basically start it and just turn it a little bit and walk away and then come back. So for this, I'm going to just show you how to do a little bit of it, and then I'll cut to the end and then show you the finished product of this. So you can hear it start to not cut as much. That's your cue to turn it a little bit more. I'm going to turn my speed up a little bit. Alright. Again, if you feel comfortable, you can, or if you don't feel comfortable not putting any alcohol or anything on it, you can. There's not a big deal or difference in it, but you can if you want. It's capturing it. So yeah, all you're doing is just, when you hear it go like that, where you can kind of hear it not touching the drum anymore, you just move it a little bit so then it's actually touching, and you just repeatedly do that over and over and over again. So I'm gonna do a cut just to about halfway through, so then I can show you what it looks like. So at this point, we've got them down to a letter before, and I'm just gonna clean them, make them look nice so I can show you. All right, here we go. Gotta get the light on them just right, but you can kind of see some grooves in them. That's what I'm kind of going for. Right now, let me get my calipers out. Right now, we are at 18.8. Right. Yeah, 18.84. That's where we're at right now. So, right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them back on, and we're gonna start doing the corners. And all right, so for corners, what we're gonna do is we are going to grab our 2000 grit sanding stick. This one's from Hobbytown in Modesto. I think this is where I got this one. And all we're gonna do is just touch it. And we just wanna start seeing it. Just start seeing it round. If it starts chunking, that's fine. We're gonna fix that. I think we're going a little slow. Alright, now for this side. Again, it's fine if it starts to chunk. We're gonna fix that. Sorry for not focusing. Alright. You can have it off the drum for this part too. You don't need it on the drum. So now that we've started our round, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a piece of Scotch-Brite and then a microfiber towel. And what we're gonna do is grab some lighter fluid. This is just some lawn soil, and we're just gonna get it all there. And we're up there. So you're gonna grab this and you're gonna place it like where it's going to go. So it's spinning down. So you're gonna put it under the tire and then touch the sidewall. So then it just gets rid of it right away. So again, you're gonna put it under it and you're gonna touch the sidewall. I'll do this side again. Thanks to Ian for telling me this. My tires used to look like they were cut with a chainsaw, but there's that round right now compared to before, after, and then what we're gonna do, we're also gonna take a sanding sponge and I think this is just 3M. This is just the fine version, and we're just gonna back it off a little bit, turn it on, grab our alcohol, put it on the tire, and just move it back and forth. We just want to get it a little smoother if we can. Okay, I think that side's good, so we're going to move on to this side. With these, you want to make sure you wet it first, or else it's just going to rip the sanding sponge up. Oh, that was a lot of alcohol for that. I think this is 91% rubbing alcohol too, by the way. And I think I forgot to mention, when you're cutting every so often, you should also, like in between your little movements, you should always just clean the drum with the rubber eraser. Okay, so now we're just sanding more and more. You don't want to take too much material off, but you just want to get enough. You just keep doing this. Get those rounds as smooth as possible. Okay, so here, I'll take them off. We're not done. We're done rounding, but here's what they look like on the edges. So now that we've done that, we're just gonna go our letter back down, start it. We're gonna clean our drum first. Let me get all right. And now we're just gonna do what we were doing before. Barely have it touching. And I'll come back and show you the finished product. So we have finished the tires. Here's what they look like. There it goes. That's what it looks like. I probably could have gotten the round a little nicer. Looks a little chunked up, but it's better than what they used to look like from me.